Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for your Friday. Hope you are doing fantastic. Hope you are getting a lot of work done, because we are not. Welcome into the show today. What we're going to get into today is just going to talk about kind of the real life struggles of being a business owner in the summer, and a lot of things that go along with that. There's so many ups and downs, good and bad, everything in between. And I just want to hit on those a little bit today. It won't be a super long show, but want to put a show out that is going to be hopefully somewhat or very relatable. And the fact of, just want you to know you're not alone out there when you go through those things, because I promise you there are other people going through them as well, just as much, if not more, than you are. So that's a little preface of what we're going to get into. But first off, I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and thank you for making us a part of your weekly listen, because it means the world to us that we get to come to you 3 times a week and just bring you, try to bring you the best content that we can, because that is what we're here for. And we love building the relationships too, because that's what we're all about, building this community one relationship at a time. So I'm excited to see what we get into today. I know I got a little agenda of what I want to walk through, a few points that I just want to talk about. But I want to hear from you guys. Shoot me a message or an email if any of this stuff is relatable to you, that you say, man, I'm glad that someone else is going through this and it's not just me. Then let me know, because that always makes me more, it doesn't make me happy that you're having to go through bad things as well. It just makes me happy that I know that, one, the content is relatable, and two, that I'm not the only one going through it. And so I want this to be a place where everyone can come and say, this is a place that I can relate to. This is a place that I can learn and grow, but also feel like the things we're going through is not just me. I'm not a bad business owner. I'm not a failing business owner. It's just part of business. It's part of life, and everything in between. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today. First off, I want to say thank you to Brian Fullerton and Entrepreneur Academy for partnering with us today and being today's show sponsor. It means the world that we get to come to you a couple times a week and talk about all things that we do talk about, but it wouldn't be possible without having people behind the show to support it, like Brian and Entrepreneur Academy. And so that does mean the world. Go check out LaunchpreneurAcademy.com. LAL tickets are on sale. We'll probably be doing an episode about LAL, totally devoted to that here soon, because there are so many things we could talk about, and you don't want to miss it. It's just one of those events. If you have FOMO in the world of real life, and here in 2023, FOMO is a real thing, fear of missing out. Then if you experience FOMO, then this is an event that you will definitely get FOMO from, because there's a lot of people there that are going up there to grow and learn and succeed in their businesses. And so you should be doing the same thing. You should definitely be in Michigan, November, for LAL. And so, like I said, more details to come on that down the road, but get your tickets today at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com, and we look forward to seeing everybody in Michigan. And so let's just go ahead and hop in really fast. And like I said, this isn't going to be a short show, maybe 15, 20 minutes, because you might get the thunderstorm sound. You might be going to sleep in this episode, because it is absolutely roaring outside right now. Lightning up my window like crazy. I'm afraid the power's going to go out. I'm going to lose this whole file. That will not be good. But it wouldn't shock me. And so it's just kind of the way life's going right now, But anyway, that is kind of leads into the first point that I want to talk about, is the storm. And so we have been getting rain like never before. This is going to sound like I'm complaining. Excuse me. You ever just get to talking and you're like, man, the yawns just hit you. Like, I'm not even that tired, but it's just like, they just all come at once. But anyway, we are getting rain at proportions like we have not gotten in a very long time. I'm not complaining because the rain keeps us going. The rain keeps the grass growing. The rain does a lot of very, very good, helpful things. We were actually just chatting forth on Instagram the other day about a guy in Texas, and it was like 110 degrees, no rain in a month, and I was like, dude, that sucks. Like, I know that is something that I don't want to deal with. The rain is bad, but I count the rain as a blessing. Even though it makes things harder, even though it makes life tougher, it hurts the schedule big time, it's better than having to fight a drought and not be able to mow, not be able to, if you do a landscape job, then you're worried about all the plants dying because the customers aren't watering good enough, or you lay sod and it's like they're having to struggle to keep that sod alive. And so there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that comes with the weather. But that's what we're dealing with right now. This week we started a project on Monday, and on Monday we started the project. We did a good bit of demo. We took almost everything out all on Monday. This is a pretty good sized landscape overhaul. The whole front of the house is coming out. A big section in the back's coming out. There's shrubs surrounding the whole exterior of the property. All those shrubs were overgrown, had to be trimmed. Mulch was going all around the edges. There was about 12 yards of mulch that went in, and so did that over the course of a day and a half. It was really one day because we didn't get a full day of work in because of the rain, and so we have yet to get a full day in this week. And so this is Friday, and it's like, what do we do with ourselves? Like, how do we keep up? And luckily, these customers are fantastic. They are understanding. Anybody with common sense would be like, they see how much it's raining the same way that I am. I'm out there as much as I can, but it's like, if you go back to a couple weeks ago, maybe like, I don't know, a month or two, we did a show talking about customer expectations, and that's one of those things that I'm going to definitely work on moving forward, because I do not want to set bad customer expectations. And it's one of those things that I learned from. Like, I learned from my mistake last time of the big sod install that we were on. I didn't set clear enough customer expectations, and going along with that is like, I've learned moving forward that now we talk about these things ahead of time. If it rains, then we're going to tell them why I'm not out there, and because they might see rain, but they might think, well, it rained, but it was sunny all afternoon. Why didn't you come out and plant? Well, that's exactly what happened yesterday. So it rained all morning, and it was like not just like a little drizzle. Like it rained from about 2 a.m. to probably 10:30 or 11. Like it rained, no stop in between. And so it's like, how do you even combat this? What we've done is we just decided to go ahead and get the rock. And so we went and got part of the rock that we were going to put. We're going to put about 15 to 17 yards of rock in the front of this house. And so we started getting loads of that delivered. And we went and did that yesterday morning, because you can do that in the rain. You just go get loaded and press a button and dump it, stand under the umbrella, and you can stay fairly dry. And so I did at least show up on the job. So they saw me there. They saw that I wasn't just sitting at home or neglecting it, going to a different job. Went out and talked to them and was like, we talked about everything, and they saw the water that was standing in the beds that we were supposed to be planting in yesterday. And they're like, yeah, like there's no way you can plant in this. Like, I walked in it and it was just covered. I mean, like, my feet were sinking. My boots were just like, it was bad. And so that's what, I wanted them to see that I was at least out there. Man, if you didn't hear that thunder, then this is a really good mic, not picking up the external sounds, but that was a big one. And so they saw that I was at least making an effort, and I am prioritizing that job, even though it's taken way longer than expected. So this was supposed to be a 3-day job max. It's going to end up taking about 7 working days, because we were out there. Well, maybe not. We were out there half day, full day, half day, 0 day. So half day, full day. So two full working days so far this week. We didn't do anything on Thursday. It was half day Monday, full day Tuesday, half day Wednesday. And when I say half day, it's because we got rained out in the afternoon every time. Thursday, we could not do anything. And so it's just one of those things of, what do you do? Like, what do you do? You just have to budget these things in. And it's hard to budget in 4 days worth of rain in the middle of summer. Like, that's not something you plan on. But in doing it, it's one of those things you always have to think of. And you just need to make sure that you're prepared to communicate with the customer on what the plan is. We were supposed to have sod there by now, but they can't cut the sod farms. And so we're kind of shifting things around, making different parts of the job a new priority. It was going to be the sod was going to go in first, because that's priority, get it and get it down. But now it's going to be, we're going to plant first, and then we're going to do the sod last in the back, because that's kind of we can control that the least. We can't control when they cut the sod. So we're going to try to control everything we can first as far as getting the plants in the ground. We've already gotten the plants delivered. They're on site. They're not going to dry out because, we're getting buckets and buckets of rain every day. But they're doing good. So we're there. Everything is staged as best as we can get it. We just need plantable dirt. And that's what we're waiting on. And we haven't gotten it yet. So hopefully we can get it today. But we're going to do what we can. And we're just working through this. It's killing our man hours on this job, because when it does, like, when it's wet like this, everything just takes longer. Like, it's muddy. I don't want to track up the existing yard more so than I already am. So have to go slower on the machine, have to go slower up and down the driveway. Like, we don't want to make everything totally disgusting and mess it up. So it's just like struggles that we're working through. But I know I'm not the only one that's done this. This is such on a small level. Like, some of you guys who are doing big, full, like, total new construction installs and things, you understand. You're playing in the mud right now. You got a lot of red clay and chert and things that you're just messing with, trying to get final grade done. And it's like, every time it rains, it washes new trenches through your grade, and it's just like, what do you do? And so that's why I quit. I haven't even tried to grade anything where that sod's going. It's just a big open dirt pile right now, because every time it rains, it washes. I'm not going to sit back there and grade it until we have sod going in right behind it. So that'll be probably something that I sit there and grade literally, like, once I have the sod sitting on site. But that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of what we're doing on that job right now. It's a real-time, real-life update on where we're at. I hope that you realize, listening to this, that you're not the only one that battles with these things. And I would think you would know that, because, like, obviously you're not the only one that it rains on. But it's just one of those things that you kind of forget about sometimes. It's easy to get stressed. It's easy to get stressed when I'm sitting at home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. This job has to get done, but I can't control it. And so what you have to do is you have to realize, like, control the things that you can control, because if you don't control those, you try to control things you can't control, you will go insane. Like, you will stress yourself out so much, it makes you sick. You're going to lack in other areas of the business. Because here's the thing that I've caught myself doing. I'm stressed so much about this job that I'm letting the mowing slack off. And it's not that it's slacking off, but it's just the fact of, like, I can't do anything with that either. Like, it's raining so much. We've mowed like 15, 20 yards this week out of our 60. It's going to have rained so much. All of our weeklies are going to get pushed. We're not going to get to do any of our weeklies, because it's just like, they were done last week. They're going to have to wait a couple of days, because all of our bi-weeklies have to get done. Like, they cannot go 3 weeks. Our whole schedule will be messed up. So that's going to be the focus on Fridays, getting everything done as best as we can. All those every 2 week yards, trying to get everything done and the rotation caught up. And then we'll just pull our weeklies that we usually do on Thursday and Friday. We'll pull them up a day and do them probably on Wednesday next week. But it's just the fact of the matter is, you're not alone going through this stuff. Business is stressful. This time of year is stressful. Let's flip it to the opposite. You're dealing with a drought right now. Then it's what you're thinking is, it's not how do we get stuff done. It's how do we find things to do? And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Like, you can always do landscape installs, do things like that. You can lay sod, you can plant plants. It does come with a lot more stress of, is the customer going to properly water these? Do they have irrigation? All that stuff becomes a much bigger factor. Like, we've been blessed this year. That massive sod job we did, it was like 20-something pallets of zoysia. Zoysia is a very, like, finicky grass. It needs water.
This is your invitation to Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023 in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 11th. The lineup is power-packed. You won't want to miss it. Learn from incredible speakers like Leroy Maines, Keith Kalfas, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Sam Gimbel, Weston Zimmerman, and Jeff Joyner, just to name a few. Tickets are on sale now at the early bird registration price of $197. And hurry, because seating is limited to just 300. Now through August 31st, purchase the whole ball of wax and receive a free ticket to LAL 2023, a $200 value. Once you purchase your ticket, you'll be added to our private Facebook group where you can network with other attendees, get access to the discounted hotel room block, and get the inside scoop for the Friday night party, brought to you by Kohler. Thank you to this year's sponsors, Exmark, Sure Track Trailers, Yard Book, and Boss Snowplow for helping to bring this incredible event to life. We can't wait to see you November 11th, Novi, Michigan, at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get your ticket today at lawntrepreneur.academy.com or use the link in the podcast description. Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
It has to be babied. And we did that, and I was a little worried. I was like, this is a lot of sod. I hope they do their diligence to keep this stuff watered. Well, it has done fantastic, partly because they have been blessed with all this rain. Like, they still watered. They did their part. But, like, they get one of these rain showers in the afternoon, that sod is good for the day. Because the amount of water we're getting in one of these storms. And so if you're going through a drought, then it's like, how do we find things to get done? Just keep your head up, man. Keep pushing through. Try to just find different areas that you can do little things. Try to do some weeding. Try to do irrigation service maybe, because people are going to be using irrigation systems when it's a drought, and so they're going to find things that are going bad and find leaks and things. And so try to find little odds and ends. You can do some tree trimming, maybe some shrub trimming, maybe some mulching. Like, we just did some mulch last week, and it's like, who's crazy? That's crazy. You don't do mulch in the middle of the summer. Well, in Alabama, you do. They had a baby shower, and so they wanted to get the house fixed up looking good before the baby shower. So totally understand that. But just try to do little odds and ends the best you can, and get your customers on the same page, and realize that, like, you can't control the weather either way, whether it's a drought or a torrential downpour. You can't control it. You are not God, and you're not the weatherman. You just kind of go with the punches and try to do what you can. And so try to make your customers understand that. If you have customers that are chewing you out because of the weather or because it's raining and you're not there, then, like, you might want to reevaluate if that's the customer you want or not, because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to get their grass cut this week. And guess what? The world's actually going to still keep spinning. You have to remember that sometimes if you are battling with the rain, because I know there's a lot of you who are in my region of the country who are dealing with the rain. Like, I'll get hit, and we're central. We're centrally located. So a lot of you in, like, East Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, a lot of y'all get the storms right after we get them. And so you can just watch my stories through the day and be like, yeah, that's coming for us. That's great. And so it normally goes straight across through Alabama, goes straight into Georgia, up into North Carolina. And so you realize and know that this stuff is coming, and you trying to kind of prepare for that. But if you have customers who are chewing you out over that, then you have to realize maybe that's not the one for you. Is that the customer that you want to be the backbone of your business? Because they're not supporting you. They're just stressing you out more. If they're sitting there and complaining because you weren't there the day of, it was a torrential downpour in the morning, you're not there 30 minutes later when the sun comes out to mow it. And, like, that's what you have to do. And this comes back to educating customers as well. So if you have a couple of those and they're not trying to be rude, but they just want their grass cut, then you need to tell them, like, why you're not coming out. Like, the dude we talked about yesterday, why we weren't planting. Like, planting in that type of mud was not going to be beneficial at all. They were not going to get good soil backfilled around them. It was going to be muddy. It was going to be clumpy. There was not going to be good drainage in the holes. Like, it would all dry up, yes, but it was going to be a much worse process for those plants. It was not going to be a good start. And so I told him, I was like, we need to hold off. It's just going to be a mess. Like, your place is going to look destroyed. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. We'll just wait. And so you got to realize that with mowing too. Like, you can go out and mow 30 minutes after. And this is the thing that is so hard to deal with. It can be raining all morning here, like it did yesterday, all morning. But then an hour later, it'll be sunny and the roads will be dried up. And people are like, well, why are you not out cutting my grass? Well, guess what? Your grass doesn't dry up near as fast as the roads do. They don't have cars going on them 70 miles an hour to dry it out. And so, like yesterday, we went in the afternoon and started mowing, and we mowed a yard that otherwise is normally like no drainage problems at all. Got in this thing's backyard and marked it up decently. I got out of it, kind of patted everything down, and we turned out it was all right. But it was one that I wasn't expecting to be that wet. And so that's like the perfect example of, it was one that we wanted to get done. It was a weekly. It's an important yard. We wanted it done, but I really probably shouldn't have. Like, it's okay that it's done because I tidied it up and I got out before I made it too bad, and we weeded the rest. But it's just like, if I would have gone back and forth and kept mowing that yard, like, I could have destroyed that yard all in the name of getting it cut. And like, is that worth it? Is that really what you want to be doing to get your grass cut and not wait a couple more days? And so you just got to tell your customers that, like, if the yards aren't dry, like, your mower is going to mark it up. It's not going to leave you a good finished cut. It's going to clump up because that's just what wet grass does unless you run a Scag. And so, man, some of these Scag videos I've seen has just been insane. I've never ran a Scag personally, but some of these wet grass videos that I'm seeing that they're cutting, I'm like, it's mind blowing. But other than that, I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with as far as the weather goes. Just know that you're not alone if you're battling that. If you're down on yourself and you're in the dog days of summer, then, man, I'm sorry for you. I really am. Like, I struggle for you because we haven't been in that this year too bad yet. I have been in the past. This year we've been pretty good just because we've diversified what we're doing. I've kind of worked myself out of the mowing field a little bit more, and so it's nice. And I tell you what, like, if you're going through that, just keep your head up. Keep your head up, keep pushing. Try to change the things that you don't like, the things that you're struggling with. If you don't want to be out mowing every day, then try to replace yourself. Try to put somebody in the field to help you do that stuff. And the thing is, the fact of the matter is, dog days of summer are coming to an end pretty fast because we're about to be in the fall. We've already got leaves falling here in Alabama, and they're not falling like crazy, but we've got certain trees who are losing their leaves, definitely losing their leaves more so than they were 3 weeks ago. And so with these rains, it's also bringing them down. So we'll be cleaning up leaves full force probably in about a month and a half. I know a lot of you guys will as well. Y'all start doing fall cleanups and things up north. You're all a little behind us. It's crazy. I love watching like all the flowers bloom. Like, our hydrangeas bloom a month before they do up north, and it's crazy. Like, ours will be like about to die out, and then all you guys up north are like, man, the hydrangeas are looking great. They're looking beautiful, and they're blooming very well. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Ours are already done. But that's kind of just how things roll. It's just different. The difference and the variations of climates. And so I hope that everyone is doing good. If you are battling with these things, just know you're not alone. Keep your head up. Keep pushing through. Realize that there are bigger things out there than cutting grass and putting plants in the ground. Make sure and keep your family first. If you are getting stressed, try not to bring that home to your family too much. It's going to happen because that's part of running a business together. Your wife is going to see the stress. Your kids are going to see the stress. But communicate with them that you're not stressed at them. You're not frustrated with them. You're just trying to get things done the best that you can. And so in doing that, I think they will respect you and they'll understand more. Like, you have to, the same way you communicate with your customers, you have to communicate with your family. You have to communicate more so with your family and make sure they know that they're not the reason for any of this. They're not the ones. Like, I can see so easily that if you get in this time of year and you're stressed and you're kind of a little short at the house, you're a little snippy, and you have young kids, then they could see and they could believe that they were the problem. And I think that's so crucial that, like, your kids are not the problem to this. Make sure and tell them that, and make sure and let them know that you love them more than anything, and that is just out working, and that's just part of the job. And so You need to make sure that your family is all on the same page, because there's no amount of grass, there's no amount of plants going in the ground, there's no amount of mulch being spread that is more important than your spouse and your kids and your family life and your home life. Like, you can always go do something else. You can get a different career. You can go get a job if you have to, but you don't need to be trying to replace your spouse and your kids, because that's just not something that is really worth trying to do. And so I hope that this relates with you somewhat, some way, shape, or form. It's nothing crazy. It's literally just talking through kind of what we're going through. But it's one that I was like, you know what? I think I'm not the only one dealing with this. There's a lot of guys I'm seeing on Instagram that are battling the rain, battling the droughts. And so weather is a big thing in this business, but you just have to realize what you signed up for. When you start a lawn and landscape company, you sign an agreement with God saying we're going to battle the weather, and that's just part of it. So you rise to the challenge, you rise to the occasion, and you do what you can to make your business a better business from it. And you try to be a business that communicates with your customers extremely well, and that tries to tell them the importance of watering in a drought, and the importance of not mowing after it rained all morning. And so you just try to educate your customers the best you can, bring the most value to your customers that you can, because bringing value is what makes you a reliable source in whatever you're doing, whether it's in the podcasting space or the green industry space or a tech space, whether you're bringing value on how to fix something. Like, that's what people want. People want value. And if I'm listening to somebody, I want value from it. I want to be able to listen for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and get something and walk away, man, that was good. Like, I learned something from that. And some stuff is entertainment, but even in just entertainment, you still want a little bit of value in there. If you're listening to a song for entertainment, try to listen to somebody's song who's going to actually give you something to look at and think about, not just like rot your brain cells out. So those are things that everyone's got to think about. Everyone's probably dealing with. And so just try to keep your head up in this crazy season of life, crazy seasons of business for most everybody. The fall will be here before you know it, and then we'll hop into the winter, and people will be plowing snow, and then we'll be back into the spring, and then we'll be back into the summer, and the big wheel of life will just keep spinning around. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We're doing good. Brighter Bins is hopefully going to be up and running in the next 2 weeks, probably. I know I've said that a couple times, but we had a setback on the hopper and things. So trying to just get the last few things ordered and get that thing plumbed up, ready to go. We'll keep you updated on that, kind of the sales building journey of that. We might start another venture. I don't know yet about kind of documenting it, but we'll see. And I just want y'all to come along with us, help us share all of the stuff that we're walking through, and that's what we try to do here on the show. It really means the world that we get to do it, and a lot of people get to follow along with us and help us along that journey, because we learn from all of you guys, and we literally learn the most from talking to you and learning from you. Like, that's a huge reason why we do the show, because we get to learn from it. And in turn, we get to give back a small portion of what we have learned. And so that's why, that's a big reason of why I do what I do with the show, is like, I just wish that I had something like this when I started my business. And the messages that we get of, hey, I'm in 6 months, I'm in a year in, I'm in 2 years in, and we're learning this stuff. We're getting to listen to people who have been in the industry for 20 years. We're getting to look at Brian Fullerton's Launchman Academy and find all these resources that are there to help us grow. It's just like that is why. That is why we do it. I'm getting hooked up with Ezra from Green Frog Web Design, help me get a website built at a very, very nominal fee to get me up and running and get listed on the internet, because that's the number one search of like lawn care near me. Like, that's probably the number one search thing for finding a lawn care company. And so you want to be the top one in those answers of when somebody searches lawn care near me. So you need a website. You need to be out there. Reach out to Ezra. If you listen to the last episode, then you'll get to hear some more of what Ezra's got going on there, and he'll help you. He'll help you big time. And so also, you know what you get to do? You get to go to Equip Expo in a month and a half and talk about to other business owners. You get to talk to 25,000 other people who are there, likely running businesses or higher up in landscape companies. And you get to hear how they do things, and you get to go to education classes, and you get to just network, and you get to go to the rally, and you get to go to Energize and the morning show and hear from all these great guest speakers and everyone that is involved in putting this stuff on. And you get to realize that, hey, you're not the one that's alone. You're not the only one. And you know what else you get to do? You get to use code GG50 to register to save 50% because, you don't use these other people's codes. You don't use Caleb Allman. You don't use, well, I guess you kind of might. No, you don't use Brian's either. You don't use Blake's. You don't use any of these. You use GG50 because that saves you 50%. And early bird registration ends on September the 7th. So, we're literally 3 weeks away from that ending. So there's no point. There's no point in paying more than $12.50 to go to this show. The option is here. It's a trade show. It's an awesome show. Should you, if you had to pay more, yeah, it's worth it to pay more. But there's just no point. Put in two letters, two numbers, GG50. Put the code in. Cut 50% off of your ticket. Pay $12.50. That's one Chick-fil-A meal. And go to a trade show where you're going to meet people and network and grow and learn and arguably take your business to the next level for $12.50 and some travel expenses. It's worth it, guys. I promise. You want to make the trip there. It's not a very large investment, but it's an investment that will come back in multiples when you get there and get to be around the right people. You get to be in an awesome location like Louisville. It's a very, it's big, but it's small city that it's tight knit. There's a lot, you're going to run into people the whole time that you see and know and love. And that's what it's about. That's what the community is about. That's what we're about, is trying to help everyone grow and learn along the way. So I hope this show hasn't been too boring for you. Maybe you got some thunderstorm sounds in the background. I don't know. It was roaring here halfway through the show. And so I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, leave us a big 5-star rating review because those help us get out there and boost us to grow the community one relationship at a time because, that's what we like to do here. But without any further ado, that is going to wrap this episode up. And we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.